let's talk about quoting. Now, it's important to understand exactly how we quote. Now, there's two different methods that we use. We either offer a competitive quote, which is also considered to be a low ball, or we offer an approximate near the actual rate. Now, let me give you the difference. Now, the difference is simply if the customer is ready or not. If they're not ready, we offer a low ball. If the customer is ready, we're going to give them something pretty fair and realistic to test their ability to making a decision today. So let me give you an example. Let's say you bring a marketing walk-in. Customers in a rush. They're telling you, "I'm not ready. I don't have a lot of time, or my payment is due until 2 weeks from today." We may have to just give them a low ball. Now, the quoting process is not just to give them numbers and let them leave. The quoting process is to test their ability, to test their honesty. So even though the customer is telling me, "Rudy, I'm not ready today, just give me a quote. I'm not ready. I'm willing to, I have 30 seconds. Give me a quote." That's all I want. I just want a quote. I just want information. I'm going to tell them, "Sir, don't worry. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to give you a quote. No commitment whatsoever. We're done." It's going to take 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. So as I'm qualifying the customer to determine if they could actually make a decision, maybe they're not opening up, or maybe they're being very, very vague on their responses. So I'll give them an approximate of 30 to 35. Not to let them leave. I'll give them an approximate of 30 to 35, which is a low ball. And then I'll ask them, "What do you think? How does that sound? Would you be interested in 30 to 35? I know you told me you're in a rush. I know you mentioned to me you don't have a lot of money today. I know you're just in here for a quote, but let me help you. Now, I'm running your basic information, and it seems like you do qualify for $30 to $35 a month. What do you say? How does that sound? Does that sound good? Because to me, it sounds perfect. What do you think? Can you make a decision? Would you be interested? All I need is an additional 5, 10 minutes, or maybe 15 minutes. I need at least minimum of 15 minutes. Let me see if I can help you, especially if they don't have insurance. If they do not have insurance, you have to really emphasize on 30 to 35. Let's get it out of the way right now. You need to sell them the idea that those 30 to 35 is realistic. And you're going to add so much value. You're going to make the quote realistic by letting them know that we work with 70 different companies. We have a lot of options, a lot of promotions, and you're going to test them. You're going to test them to see if they would be willing to make a decision. So how does it sound? The $30 to $35, is that something you could do today? Would you be interested in making a decision today? So you're planting a seed that it could be as low as $30 to $35, and you're testing their ability to make a decision today. If they say yes, you know what, matter of fact, if it's that low, let's get it. You did your job. At least the first step, the first stage of the quoting process has been completed and you were successful. Now we'll start all over, but at least now you know that they're more calm, they're more willing to listen, they're going to give you some time, and we're going to go through the whole process, which it's a long process. We won't talk about it now, but now you're going to start and you're going to qualify them correctly. So we could give them some knowledge, educate them, maybe use a loss ratio, justifying factors, and the rest of the information that we're going to offer, and we're going to try to close them. Now, let's assume that they're not interested, they're not ready. Then we're going to set up an appointment for them to come back, but we're going to leave them with those 30 to 35, and we're going to make those 30 to 35 realistic. See, the low balling is for customers that are absolutely not ready today. But you have to really qualify the customer, investigate, confirm, and really determine if they're not ready today. Don't just go based on what they tell you. Everyone's going to tell you, "I'm not ready." Everyone's going to tell you, "I'm not interested." Everyone's going to tell you, "I don't have any time." So you have to really qualify them and at least get a good evaluation of their ability to make a decision today. Now, let's say, for instance, if the customer is ready today, for instance, then we're going to give them an actual approximate. So if the price is 90, we're going to give them an approximate of, let's say, 80 to 85, which is not that far, maybe $5 to $10 from the actual rate. The reason why we give them an approximate, because we want to test their honesty. We want to test their ability of making a decision today. So just in case he tells me, "You know what, I like it, but I don't have it," because by you giving him an approximate, you're also going to confirm. You're going to tell him those 80 to 85. How does that sound? Are you willing to make monthly payments of 80 to 85 every single month? Will you be able to make a payment, a minimum payment of $80 to $85 today to actually get your policy started? So if they say, no, I don't have any money, then you stop at that point and you leave it within the 80 to 85. Or maybe you could even offer them a low ball for them to come back. Maybe quote them 6 months paid in full and give them a low ball of $30 to $40. So in that case, you could tell them, look, I may have $200 to $250 paid in full for 6 months. So the whole goal, the point of offering an approximate is to test them out. Now, if they're okay with 80 to 85, then you shouldn't have an issue closing them on $90 a month. If they don't have the 80 to 85, then you shouldn't have a problem convincing them on $90 a month. So another thing that I want to add, another reason why we offer a low ball instead of giving them the actual rate is because we don't want to help the competition. If we were to offer an actual rate of, let's say, the $90, for instance, customer is going to leave with the information that we offer 90, and every time he shops around, he's going to say, well, you know what? Family Insurance gave me $90 a month. If you could beat it, let's do it. So we just lost a client. So by giving them 30 to 35, everywhere they go, while they're shopping around, someone's going to give them 80, 90, 70, 75, 100, whatever it is. They're going to keep Family Insurance. They're going to keep me in mind. They're going to say, well, they gave me 30 to 35, so let me go back and let me give them a chance. So once again, the quoting system, the quoting process is for you to test their ability of making a decision today. Now, if you know and you confirmed, not assuming, if you confirmed that they're not ready and they're not able to make a decision, then we'll give them those 30 to 35 and we'll reschedule. If they're not giving you straight answers and they're being very vague and they're not really opening up, then we're going to test their honesty by giving them 30 to 35. We're going to add a lot of service. We're going to make it realistic. And then we're going to ask them again, how does that sound? Does that sound good? Are you able to do those 30 to 35? And if they say yes, you did your job, you're giving yourself an opportunity. Now you got to start all over, and then you're going to continue the process and you're going to give them the actual rate. So once again, quoting system, if they're ready, we give them an approximate that's fairly accurate. If they're not ready, and absolutely we confirmed 100% that they're not ready, we're going to give them a low ball, something around 30 to 35, very, very competitive, so they could come back. Now your goal is to quote them as low as possible, but to give them so much information that they don't care about the price anymore. All they're going to remember is a good experience. They're going to remember the information you gave them. They're going to remember the service you offer. They're going to remember you, your personality. So they're going to come back because of the service, because of the experience. The quote is just to give them something because we need to give them something. If we don't give them something, then they're going to tell us, well, why should I come back? You never gave me a price. So keep that in mind. That's the whole concept of quoting.